I'm a gorilla. You're Nigerian. I want to fight you. You're Nigerian. Nigerian. Well, you weren't lying. It is a gun game. I didn't put it on. What the heck, bro? Just shot through the friggin' thing. Oh my gosh! Hi!
The enemy only needs one more kill.
What?
Stop!
Return to base.
Monkey!
What's with all these fucking kids being on a fucking game, bro? Like that's like these kids sound like they younger than 10 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like that's bad parenting, my nigga. Real shit. Because at the end of the day, your kid is younger than that, and then you wanna fucking get upset when they find out about shit, but you putting them on games like this, then trying to report people that are adults. Your kid, first of all, your kid ain't supposed to be playing this type of game. That's the first thing. Secondly, when you buy in the game, automatically when you're purchasing the game, they say, you know, they say at the beginning, oh, you don't want to, you know, this game is rated M for mature because of whatever content, you know what I'm saying? And they sit there and say that, and I'm like, are you sure you still want to purchase this game? Then they'll fucking sit there and buy it. But at the same time, if kids are gonna be playing this shit, you can't give them the option of reporting anybody, because at the end of the day, this game is for adults, not kids. You get what I'm saying? So when you sit there and you allow your kid to play shit like this, you know what they're learning because they're around nothing but adults, because this is an adult game. You get what I'm saying? So in order for you to fucking sit there and even have the option of reporting anybody, think about it. At the end of the day, people get reported just because their kid is on there playing, and all of a sudden they hear shit or they learning about shit that they shouldn't be, or they hearing shit that they shouldn't. That's because you're not taking the initiative and making sure that your child isn't playing something that's inappropriate for a child, especially under the ages of 10. You get what I'm saying? You can't sit there and get upset because your child is learning something, because they're learning it because you bought that game for them or you allowed them to play that shit. That's on you. You can't blame nobody for that but your damn self. Period. And at the end of the day, that's terrible parenting, especially when you trying to fucking make it seem like you're this good parent and you don't let your kid learn shit that they shouldn't, or play games that they shouldn't. Like, think about that, my nigga, because at the end of the day, you're sitting there fucking with people that that shouldn't be fucked with at all, because everything that your child is learning, they're learning because you allowed them to learn it. Even if you had your child on something, even if you had your child on a game, you can still dictate what they learn and what they don't learn, even when they playing it. But that's only if you monitor it. If you don't monitor that shit, then you have no knowledge of what the fuck they're really learning on these games. So you can't get mad at nobody but your fucking self for anything that they learn off the game. You know what I'm saying? Or they learn from somebody on the game. That's called bad parenting. Because at the end of the day, when you parenting, you're not supposed to let your child do certain things. You're not supposed to let your child learn certain things. Because when your child is on something like this, like I said, they're gonna learn shit. Especially shit they don't know. And you come across adults and adults having adult conversations. You know what I'm saying? There's no Call of Duty, GTA. You know what I'm saying? Those games are not for kids to be on. They just not. Motherfucking Resident Evil, motherfucking, well, at least zombies ain't that bad, but like, I don't mean zombies on Call of Duty, because that's still bad, because they could be interacting with other people. Like, if you're playing like the old school Resident Evil, it's not that bad, because there's not, you know, they might learn a couple bad words, but it's, you know, it's not really multiplayer like that. You know what I'm saying? But then you got other games that are, you know what I'm saying? And people get on mics and they'll be having conversations sometimes about shit that they'll be having conversations about shit that they really shouldn't be having conversations about. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. Period. But I mean, at the end of the day, think about it, because when you sit there and you see what it is on these games, and you hear the type of conversations and the arguments that people have on that shit, you'll see that it's not a place for them to be at. You know what I mean? Like, think about that, because they might be occupied and they might not be, you know, acting up and shit. But then again, they're learning shit that they shouldn't. So if instead of allowing them to be on those games, you let them get on different shit, you let them do different shit, excuse me, think about that. Because when you do that and you allow them to get on certain shit, then you allow them to learn certain things that they shouldn't learn. You know what I'm saying? So you can't really get upset about anybody else teaching your child something, or them hearing conversations or hearing music that's inappropriate or shit like that, because at the end of the day, you let your child get on it. So you can't sit there getting upset because they learned something off that shit. You just can't. You can't get upset about it. You contradict yourself, making yourself believe that they're not gonna learn anything bad, knowing damn well they're on a game that's only for adults. So 9 times out of 10, they're gonna learn something that they shouldn't learn because they're on an adult-rated game. You know what I'm saying? You want your kid to play a fucking game and it be kid friendly? Get on a racing game. Get on a baseball game. Get on a soccer game. Get on what's the other game? A basketball game. You know what I'm saying? Get on a football game. Those are games that kids could actually play too. They might still learn something that they shouldn't, but that's more kid friendly than shit like this. Shit like this is, no holds bar. Like it go down on these games. You know what I'm saying? Like it really go down on these games. And sometimes, you know what I'm saying, the arguments that people see on these games get a little intense. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes your children might end up saying shit that they shouldn't even fucking say, or they would never say if their parents were around. So think about that, because at the end of the day, anybody who has a child, if they want better for their child, they, you know what I'm saying, they tend to, be a good parent and watching what they do, watching what they learning, watching who they interacting with. You know what I'm saying? I'm basically giving you the 411 on how to be a good fucking parent, and I don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I just do what the fuck I gotta do and what the fuck I wanna do. And what I wanna do ain't nothing bad, ain't nothing wrong, ain't nothing illegal. But you can see why niggas get mad, because I do what the fuck I want, and what I want is never anything bad, so they can't really sit there and try to shit on me for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't. Like, you look stupid doing that. Anybody does. Because at the end of the day, when somebody's not doing nothing wrong and you sit there trying to enforce that they are doing something wrong, but then you see exactly what it is, you tend to be the fucking villain. You tend to be the bad person in the situation, and you're trying to fucking sit there and defend yourself as being a concerned parent. But if you were a concerned parent, first of all, you wouldn't let your kid on. First of all, if you were a concerned parent, you wouldn't let your kid on shit like this. You just wouldn't. And if they do, the consequences for that, which would be your child learning something that they shouldn't learn, or, you know what I'm saying, hearing conversations that they shouldn't have. You know what I'm saying? So you can't really blame nobody for your terrible parenting other than your fucking self. You know what I'm saying? And that's a problem with a lot of people nowadays. They don't know what it takes to, they don't know what it is to take responsibility for their own actions, whether they're wrong about something extremely or they're not. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, when people sit there, they say this, they say that, they do this, they do that, but they're not really doing what they say. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, I watch my child, I watch what they play and who they talk to on the games, and you don't know who these kids are talking to or playing on these games. So it's like, you can't sit there getting upset at nobody but yourself for allowing your child to play on shit like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about that. Because at the end of the day, there's 1,000,001 games out there that kids can play. Oh, your kid there's not too many new games that are like, how you call it, kid friendly. Then get a Nintendo Wii and let your kids play on the Wii, because there's a lot of kid-friendly games on the Wii. Or get them a Nintendo DS. They could fucking play mad different fucking kid games on that shit. Or if not that, get them a Wii U. There's games on that shit too. Think about that. There's a lot of solutions to the problem, but if you don't take the initiative of actually trying to solve that problem, then you're just making the situation worse than what it already is, because you're just letting it happen, and then you're making it worse because you're blaming people for shit that nobody's responsible for but yourself, because you let your child get on shit like this and learn the shit that they learned. Yeah, you might come across a few good people that actually sit there and might teach your child some good shit, but there's majority of people that will teach your child shit that they really shouldn't, and you can't blame nobody for that but yourself. Because at the end of the day, when you have a child and you're supposed to be there for your child, you're supposed to do the shit that you're supposed to do as a parent. Watching what they do, watching what they eat, you know what I'm saying? Watching who's they friends, watching who's not, you know what I'm saying? Watching who's talking to your child and teaching them shit that they should or shouldn't, you know what I'm saying? Especially when they go to school, because they go to school, there's good kids and there's bad kids. So then even when they go to school, they learning shit, but at the same time, think about it. When you expose your child to a game like this, you're exposing them to a lot of shit that's out there in the world already. A lot of shit that's going on, a lot of negativity, because people would teach your child negative shit before teaching them positive shit. Think about that, man. It's a fucked up world we live in. And this new generation, they don't give a fuck about nothing. They really don't. So when you sit there and you look at everything for what it really is, and you see exactly what's being taught to these children and to the entire youth, it makes you question. It makes you question your whole shit as a parent. You know what I'm saying? Am I doing this right? Am I doing what I'm supposed to do? Damn, maybe I should be more involved in what they're playing, or who they talking to, or in their school studies, or in their homework, or shit like that. Like, think about that. Like, it's a lot of people out there that, how you call it, they don't give a fuck, and they'll teach your child anything, because at the end of the day, they're like, oh, one day they're gonna learn it. Yeah, one day. That doesn't mean you rush a child to learn something that they don't need to learn right away. Cuss words, they can say cuss words and shit when they get older. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that deep. You know what I'm saying? They don't have to learn that shit right away. They don't. Cuss words don't go nowhere. The same cuss words are there 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now. Whether you spend your whole entire life not saying one cuss word, and then you hit the age of 30 and you start swearing like a sailor, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what it is. But think about that, is that at the end of the day, it's all about what you teach your children, or what you allow your children to learn. You know what I'm saying? I'm speaking from a place of experience, because I watch what my child learns, and I'm on his ass about it. Like, yo, don't do this, don't do that. Like, yo, don't be watching that's got too many cuss words. Or like, I really be on top of his shit about it, because at the end of the day, I'm a concerned parent, and I'm a concerned parent, and at the end of the day, I take care of my responsibilities. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a fucking man, and I'm a parent that does this shit by himself all the fucking time. You look at all these other niggas, all they want to do is rip and run these streets, talk about they good dads because they spend money, but it's more than just spending money with your child. That's what a lot of motherfuckers don't understand. There's more to being a parent than just how much money you spend on them. There's way more to it than just that. Yeah, spending money is a big factor in it, but at the same time, it's not always about money. Sometimes it's about the quality of the time that you're spending with your child. Like, if you tell your child, yo, you want to play this game, are you actually playing the game with them? You know what I'm saying? When you say, yo, you want to do this, you want to do this, you want to do that, you want to go to the movies, are you actually going to the movies? You know what I'm saying? Like, are you holding up your end of the bargain, basically, is what it is. Because at the end of the day, when you have a child, Your job as a parent is to be there for them no matter what, through thick and thin, good and bad, highs and lows, rich, success or success or being poor, nigga, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, all that shit matters. All that shit. Yeah, all that shit matters. That's why a lot of people get pissed, because what the fuck? Somebody lag switching like a motherfucker. It's probably that motherfucker too. The only Mimi. Yeah, it probably is. Cause it happens when that person's around. But think about it though, is at the end of the day, everything I'm saying is true. Like, think about that. Everybody wanna be a good parent, but not everybody's doing everything they're supposed to. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's not about, oh, I spend this and I spend that, I get my son or daughter this or I get them that. It's about that fucking time that you're spending with them. That time that you're spending, is it meaningful? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what a lot of people don't understand. Like, it has to be meaningful. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be doing what you say. You know what I'm saying? Like, that quality time, that's what counts. That's where it's at. You know what I'm saying? And not everybody understands that shit. Some people just be mad because they want shit their way and they can't have it their way all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's game, nigga. But like I said, it's all about that time that you spending. And I'm a single parent doing that shit myself, my nigga. Like, think about that. And I'm there every fucking time. He need help with schoolwork. He might not ask all the time, you know what I'm saying? He needs help with schoolwork. He needs help with this. He needs help with that. He needs me to make something. He needs me to clean something. He needs me to do